can't hear you. What are you saying, sorry? All right. Well, I'm going to start. I mean, most of the time, all of this is just going over people's trades. Is there anyone here? I mean, we've done a lot of questions, but we can do more questions at the end. Is there anyone who wants to talk about the trading? Good, bad? I mean, I've had a good week. You guys have seen that other people have had good weeks, but I mean, let's just chat about our trading, go over everything. How's everyone's week been? Because if you guys tell me things that are going wrong, things that aren't 100%, I can give you guys advice. That's what this is about. And we can all talk about it. There might be someone else in here that can give you guys insights that you weren't seeing. So it's really, really important to, if you're going to utilize this channel and talk about it, and like we're going to do these calls that if you have had weeks where it isn't, no one's judging you, no one gives a fuck if you blew your account, no one really cares about if you've had downside, no one cares if you've won, no one cares like about it in a negative sense. Like people just want to help. People just, there's a whole thing as like a group to get better together. So it's good to it's good to talk about your stuff. Net green on the week, took 6k in payouts, but gave back another one today due to greed. Oh yeah, that's okay, man. At least you're up with 6k, and I always say this to people: if you're doing like stuff where you like sim farming or like aggressive risk, it's not the end of the world. It's like if you're doing aggressive risk with a whole lot of accounts, it's really not the end of the world. As long as you're like positive on the if you're positive on the positive on the fees that you paid. I always say that. As long as you're making like 2 times or 3 times what you're putting in, I think that's a pretty good ratio. Yeah, I know. I could tell from how much you were risking. I know you don't copy trade because I'd be telling you you're insane if you're, or you have a lot of money. If you're risking like $500 to on like a like 2,500 across 5 top tip accounts is something ridiculous. I'd be like, Jesus, this is a lot of risk. Or you're really rich, or you're doing really well, and you can afford to spend like $1,000 per try. So question here: I use is this safe? I know a little bit about them, but not enough to really give you a lot of insights on that. I know what's his name, Wannabe Champ. What's his name? Wannabe Champ. You guys know who that guy is? He's like he's got like a lot of payouts on the shirt. He's on there. I know he uses them, but I don't use them. Yeah, I know he uses them extensively. He does quite well. So I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I know what they are. I'm just saying that you could do that. I mean, if you can develop a way that makes sense to you, develop a system for the holding of the trades with that, then sure. Like if you see them flip bearish, you could have like a thing where I'll flip red with whatever. Like if you could have a strategy set up, you could build something for yourself, where it's like it makes sense. I've muted him. I need to server mute him. I'll server mute him. Here you go. Sorry, bro. I just passed my 5. Sorry, I'm just gonna read here. Resumed. New Discord. Thank you. I'm net green on the week. Okay, cool. Paper trading for now, that's good. Definitely think that people will need to paper trade for a little bit and then like actually get decent at it. And then, but I will say the one thing is like there's nothing like I was talking to a mentee who's like scared to trade his XFA. He passed, he got funded for the first time, and we were talking last night. And like there's nothing that replaces the confidence that you will build by actually executing on a live account. I'm just on a system, like on an actual thing. And like then today he woke up and made 4 hours first. He's up 5 hours. He's made $500 on his first ever funded account, and he's just feeling really not confident. But I said you need to trade, even if it ends up just being your break even, or ends up that you're just bleeding out equity. At least you're building confidence to execute with real money. And I think a lot of people really underestimate the power of just executing and building confidence with a system when there's actual money on the line, because you need to be able to do that at a small scale to build that proof of concept, to build that confidence, to be able to scale and actually make real money from trading. That's the whole point. Start off with a small amount of money, $100 per account, have one account, trade it for like 3 to 6 months, build confidence, build proof of concept, and then scale. And then obviously you can start with the paper trading just to get an idea of the strategy and understand what's going on. Yeah, size down. Just passed and started trading a loss. Yeah, if you're losing $700 in a day, you are not That's not ideal. Let's just put it like that. I'm going to say something to you guys, and I think it's a really, really good reframe. Please, 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 when you're looking at trading, never, ever, ever look at how much you can win. Always look at how much you can lose. Always look at how much you can lose. The profit will take care of itself if you can control the downside. Just always be controlling the downside. It's what I was saying to you, right? Like earlier in the conversation, where I was talking about, it's like always making it so that you're having the worst that can happen is a small loss. Because if you can basically eliminate big losers from your system, and all it is small winners, break evens, small losses, and giant winners, you will probably have a profitable system quite quickly. The problem is that, like, I mean, let's be real. Like, okay, let's be real. Let's just have a discussion here with you guys. When is the last time that any of you guys lost your account from trading $100 of risk consistently and actually executing a system for a long period of time? I guarantee you for 95%, 99% of people, it's never. You guys lose your accounts from one day of lack of discipline, one day of breaking the system, one day of having a crash out. That's how you guys are losing your accounts. I would be very surprised if there's people who can respond, hey, I traded this with $100 of risk and I lost the account. Like, and there wasn't like something that happened. Yeah. It's always the same shit. Everyone, like, I'll be real, like, you guys have to remember, I get a very big exposure to a lot of you guys, like a lot of like regular struggling traders or people who are just trying to get better. And everyone has the same problems, bro. They all crash out. So if we can eliminate that and find ways to eliminate, which is very, very fucking simple. You go here, you press this settings button, and you press $250. You put $250. And then you press save, and that will never ever happen again. Ever. And like, you guys are like, it's like, I'm just being real, like, it's 3 keystrokes plus a button, a mouse click to never have these problems happen again. You might take 2 losses on the day, you might have some losses, but that's okay. It's okay to have 2 losses on the day. I have 2 losses on the day all the time. Not all the time, but I have 2 losses on the day a fair amount. Like, it's not never. Let's just put it like that. But that's okay. Because if you harbor yourself again, and what I showed you here, no big losers, only losses, small winners, moderate winners, and big winners. And especially when you're running a small amount of risk, it makes it very hard to lose the account. And that's half the problem. Instead of focusing on making money, focus on just never losing the account. You guys might be surprised at how much money you can make. I mean, you guys look at like the lab in here, right? Like, he risks $100. He has 5 accounts, just like me. And he's made like what? How much have you made, bro? You're up to like fucking 3K equity on each account, or like 2,500 or something ridiculous. And that's in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of trading the system and trading with $100 of risk and just accepting losses and just moving on and just trading. Just half the problem I think with a lot of people in the content, from my experience of getting a lot of exposure to a whole lot of traders, is that people are looking to make money, not to be dialed in on a process. They want to make the money, they don't care about the process. Paradoxically, the problem is that if you don't focus on the process, you're probably never going to make money. But if you focus on the process, you're actually going to make money you're actually make more money than what you guys are trying to make from Top Step or from these prop firms. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I know it's hard. Like, I know it feels bad. Like, I have so many people who even like mentees and stuff who are like, I don't want to risk $100. This is so lame. I feel so shit. I make no money. But I'm like, straight up with you, most of you guys have never made any money from a consistent process ever. You might have got a payout, but it's probably from some weird gambling shit you guys have done. Not trying to be a dick, just trying to be real, right? Just trying to be like honest, right? But imagine if you got your first payout from like, holy shit, guys, I locked in like, like the lab in here. I mean, when he could theoretically right now take $2,500 in 2 weeks out of a process that is a scalable actual process and a system that he can use for the rest of his life. Whereas, like, I mean, most people just want to make like some sort of payout with gambling and doing crazy shit. Like, whereas like he has the process. I mean, like he all he did is lock in on the process, risk $100 and take the guides. That's it. That's it. That's it. He's not a mentee. It's nothing crazy. You know, like the mentorship's great if you want to get like, have like calls like this all the time, but like realistically, it's like the thing is, you just have to be able to be locked in on the process. You just have to be locked in. Top 3 prop firms I'd recommend. If you're trading my strategy, Top Step is the best because there's no consistency rule in the XFA, so you can have days like Colton we make $30,000 risking $300 in like 2 weeks, and then like also like just straight up, even if you're risking $100, if you have a big winning day, you can still take the payouts. So that's the first one. Lucid's really good. The Lucid black accounts seem insane, like it's absolutely insane. And then like Alpha and TPT. Alpha and TPT are like the best. And then Top Step and Lucid, they're all pretty much the same. I always just say, if you're trading my strategy and you're scaling into winners, trailing your positions, and you have really open-ended wins where you can have really big winners, you need to be on an account. Initially, for your first set of accounts and your first little bit of scaling the business, you need to be with Top Step because they have no consistency rule. You could theoretically make $10,000 risking $100 and you can take a payout that same day. Whereas like if you do that with any of the consistency rule firms, that's fine. You can do that when you're scaling because you don't care about getting the payouts quickly. You're just trading them linked up and executing. But yeah, like take Top Step is the best for our strategy. Well, for my strategy, yeah, our strategy, whatever you want to say. The greed aspect of trading is a real problem. Once you get to several payouts, I guess it's much easier. I always say this is a problem. Trading becomes a lot easier when you actually start to see consistency. The hardest part of trading is when you haven't seen any proof of concept. Once you have proof of concept, your brain rewires to not really want to do crazy shit, because if you guys had a process right now, like realistically, if you guys were locked in on a process, and you were like, for example, me, where since November, taking 4 payouts across 5 accounts, so like 20 payouts. If you guys had that, you wouldn't be changing anything. You guys would be like locked in on that process because you'd be like, I want to make, more money. Like I want to make money from this process. Does that make sense? Like, but the problem is when you don't have that, it's hard to. Your brain hasn't rewired yet because you don't have proof of concept. And that's why I said to you, get the one account, the one XFA, trade it for a long period of time, show consistency on that one account, dial everything in, and then scale. Because once you have that proof of concept, your confidence and your everything just gets 10 times better, and you just become a better trader. Like I was literally looking at it. I was talking to a mentee yesterday where I was like I made 100R in 6 months when I was trading the one account for since like basically May through October, September, like October, September, so like 5-6 months. I've had 100 months since that because I built so much confidence in my ability to just execute and just being like, I'm just going to trade these fucking accounts and I'll make money. Then you become an even better trader because you've actually got confidence. It's like this, guys. You guys remember when you were kids and you were learning to ride a bike? Like you guys sucked, right? Everyone sucked riding bikes. They had their training wheels. The moment the training wheels came out, you're like fucking falling over and shit. It was crazy. But then the more and more you rode the bike, the better and better you got, the more and more confident you got, and the more easy it was, and it just became second nature, and you just stopped really giving a shit about having to ride a bike. It just became a thing that you just do. And that's how trading is for me. Like people like look at it as like, why, for lack of a better phrase, like I'm quite nonchalant around my trading. I just come come in and execute. But the reason is because I just used that bike analogy. I just showed up and you just kept trading in one process with a small amount of risk, and then started to see progress, and then built the confidence. Yeah. Sorry, there's like a million questions. So. Yeah, but the thing is like Frankie, just to say here, this is a fallacy. Your sunk cost fallacy, bro. Yeah, you've spent 20K, it's gone. Like not to be a cunt or a dick. That money's gone, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, it's gone. It's in the wind. Don't try to keep chasing it back. It's happened. Learn from it. Move forward and be like, okay, well, I can make. Okay, well, I'll just use someone in the Discord. You guys go look at like Die Reasonably. Like Gilbert. He's in the Discord. He has made $25,000 trading the strategy across 5 accounts since I started it, which was November 7th. So you can make a lot of money from trading with $100 of risk across a lot of accounts, but again, that comes from the process. That comes from getting good at the process and being locked in. The only thing that's going to make you guys life-changing money is being locked into the process. I'm sorry, it's just the way. I know it sounds stupid to even say because I think a lot of you guys know that that's the case, but then like your guys' actions don't support that. Sorry, is there any other question? I was reading. I get to 50 when I get to 17 or 20. Come to entry and then after advice to me or something makes sense. Stop talking about quick gains, trailing. Sure. So I was having this conversation yesterday actually. The only thing that you need to do if you're worrying about trailing and everything, or trailing or going to stop loss to break even, is you need to collect data. So like the first thing you need to do is go, how can, like if I have 100 trades and then like 45 of them are wins and then like 30 of them are losses, which means that I have 25 break evens. You need to find out from these 25 break evens or whatever your sample size is, what is the difference between these trades that go to take profit or that continue to go in the direction that we believe the market's going to go? How much money would we have made from this versus how much would we have lost from the same trades that would have gone to our stop loss? Because I always look at this, unless you have a lot of data to support going to break even, most of the time it's cope and you're just being a pussy. Most of the time you guys are coping and it's pussy. Unless you have, and you're being a pussy. Like, just to be real, just to be honest with you. Because it's just, you guys are trying to protect yourself from losing money without data. Go find the data. Go look it up. Go, like, trade for 100 trades over the next couple of months and be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm looking at all my break-evens here. I would have made an extra. Because, like, think about it, right? Like, out of these 25 trades, let's say 15 of these trades were losses. So we're down 15R. But then the other 10 trades were on average 2R wins. Well, that means you're basically giving up 5R from your system. Because those 10 2R wins is 20R. Well, 20R negative 15R means you would have made an extra 5R. So you need to do the math. You need to actually collect the data. If you don't collect the data, you're just going off vibes, and the vast majority of the time it's you being a pussy not wanting to lose money. This is not really a game where you can go off vibes. It should be more off data. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Are you looking low time frame? Yeah, basically. I mean, you're just looking for a whole lot of order blocks that are aligned. So like I look for like at least 2 out of 4 on the 15, 30 minute hourly and 5 not really. It's more like 2 out of 3 of like the 30, 15 and hourly. But yeah, I trade New York Open. This is a bit, we could do the Q&A at the end. I'm trying to talk about you guys trading. I'm happy to answer questions at the end. I want to know how everyone's, like if it's a question about like, hey, I made this mistake on the week, how can I fix this? That's great. But we're gonna answer more questions on like the strategy and stuff near the end. Does anyone have any wins? No, don't say my bad, bro. It's 100% okay, bro. But the answer to your question is New York Open. But I've traded it. Yeah, my strategy is in the education bolt. It should be in the free resources. Yeah, there's more resources coming on that in that front as well. I just am being a bit of a fucking, not even lazy, just a bit stressed with real life right now and trading and just trying to get everything managed. Just trying to get also like the mentorship stuff started. And I'm trying to manage that as well as everything else that I do. So I'm just trying to get everything sorted and get some systems and processes in so that my life isn't so chaotic right now. Passed your combine with gold today. Made 1,500. Congratulations, bro. Is that the first time you've been funded or? I tend to lose in the express train. I've lost 3 express. Yeah. Yeah. Do you? I presume you lose them from like over risking. Do you trade minis or micros? I feel like I already know the answer to this question. Yeah, no, definitely. Most people never leave that, so it's good you guys are in this space where you guys are actually getting out of that. Because I always say this, guys, like you're never gonna get to your dream life from gambling. You're never gonna get there. Like a lot of you guys want like really really cool lives, right, from trading, just like me. I want that too, but you're not going to get there from gambling. I always say this. I'm like gambling inherently it doesn't. It's like an anti. It's like the anti. Like even if you pull off like a really big win, like let's say like for example like you made like Colton, you say you make $30,000 on a top tip account, $25,000 for maybe some of you you think it's like really life changing. It might change your life temporarily, but if you're not making that money from like a process that you can make money from consistently over time, like it's just money. It'll change things for a time, but it won't change things permanently. And like I think most of us are in this to make money for a long period of time, right? You guys don't want to just make a whole lot of money all at once, unless it's like an obscene amount of money. You know, like multiple millions of dollars would change your life. But like you know, even 100 grand, realistically, yeah, it might change certain aspects of your life, but it wouldn't be like that forever. Like it will just be like, yeah, this is a little bit extra money, and like, but this doesn't give me any mobility to change my life meaningfully. Whereas like a business and a scalable process that you're locked in on, that you can inject a whole lot of capital into, that will change your life on a high time frame. You know, and it might have to start off small. It might be trading $100 of risk on a top tip account, but you know, you could be sitting in my position in. You be sitting in my position in fucking 2 years where you've got like a whole lot of accounts behind you and a whole lot of risk behind you. And then like that process that you're developing on the first account, and you're actually building the process on the one account, like that will actually get you there. Does that make sense? I tend to lose. I lost when I was in my gambling stage. Different question. I trade regular gold, not micro or mini. So is it like? Do you trade like four? How do you? What do you mean regular gold? Oh, that's minis. Yeah, that's why you lose your account, bro. One mini in gold is like fucking huge. Like it's like so much size, dude. Like if that runs, yeah, just try it micro. Just try it like 2 to 3 micros. Yeah, it's $100 per point. Holy shit, that's a lot. Hey, $100 per point is actually insane. Jesus. Yeah, 3 micro $100. Does anyone have any? Did anyone have a good week? Did anyone have like a, is there any W's or losses? I'm just gonna mute you guys. Sorry, broski. Sorry, bro. Did anyone have any wins or anything they want to talk about? Anything like setbacks? Anything that they want to talk about? Anything that they want to like see? Or any just like even like non-chart wins, like even things where like you took some losses but you kept your risk controlled and it wasn't like the end of the world. So it could be things like, you know, it doesn't have to be like I made $3 bajillion or I lost my account. It could just be like I feel confident. I'm feeling more confident with my trading. How's everyone feeling? How is everyone feeling about that? Is anyone trading the strategy that I trade? That's like how they feeling with that? That's a good question that I'll ask because I can't really talk on other people's strategies, but I can talk on mine. How do I overcome the urge to rush to payout? Payouts don't have anything to do with trading. I know it sounds stupid, but they have nothing to do with trading. The only thing that is relevant in trading is this. What is right on your screen here? This $20,000 has nothing to do with this. What's on your chart? What's on your screen here? This chart. This money up here has absolutely nothing to do with trading. This is just a byproduct of a process that we apply to what's going on in this chart. So the only thing that matters is this. So trying to rush to get it to a payout or rush to get to something. is just completely fucking ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. It's completely understandable, but it doesn't make any sense through the wider context of what is trading about. You know, you look at Kobe as a basketball player. This is the analogy I use a lot. Do you think that he was going, I'm going to get into being really good at basketball because I want to make a fuckload of money? Probably on it to some extent, but like he was like, I'm going to get so insanely good at the process and dial my process in so hard that it becomes natural that I'll make a lot of money because I'm so good at this one thing. That's what you need to start to be aiming for. So being like, I'm going to try and get so good at this process that the money will just come naturally. Like, there's very rarely where I ever look at like money. Sometimes I'll look at money where it's like, you know, I'll be like, I want to look in 3R here or something. But I won't go like, oh, like, oh, I'm close to a payout. Like, I just kind of trade and then accidentally get big payouts. You know, like, I've got 3 more days now. 3 more winning days. I can take 11 grand basically, and then go put on my live account. So, yeah. The way that you get over not wanting to chase payouts is going, well, I mean, personally, I always view my answer to basically every question is lower your risk. Go, I don't care about payouts, I care about consistent trading. I'm going to trade absolutely no risk, so the losses don't matter and the wins don't matter. If I need more size and I want to trade more size, I'll just go get more accounts. And then I'll just wait for payouts to just naturally happen through virtue of my process being dialed. And then that'll just happen, and ironically, you'll make way more money because you'll have more accounts behind your site. You'll have more size behind your trades. Across more accounts, theoretically, you could go and get 20 Apex accounts, 3 Lucid, 5 for top tip, blah, blah, blah. You have like 30 accounts, 40 accounts. I mean, that's $4,000 risk. If you had a week like me this week, you would have made $52,000 with risking nothing. There's no point, and there's no way you lose the account. There's no way anything happens if you stick to the process, manage your risk, and don't do stupid shit. So you theoretically can just stay dialed in. You know, and you can see this. I mean, you can look at Colton. I'm not sure if you guys saw my story or the reel that I posted of him. The guy who went through the mentorship, who's been trading the strategy for a bit, and then it's like finally dialed in. Like, if you just manage your risk and let winners run, just don't try and be like, oh, I'm up 3 grand on a trade. Like, oh, I'm actually just like, in this trade, this makes sense with a higher time frame. I'm gonna just let it run. I'm gonna say chill and actually execute. Actually stick to the process. You make life-changing money through that. You don't have to risk your entire account. You don't have to be full porting your entire account. You don't have to be doing crazy shit. You just have to sit there and go, I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna accept my losses. I'm gonna execute my strategy. I'm gonna let that shit play out over a long period of time. And then, ironically, a lot of people, and you've seen this, there's Ben who's made really good money. There's Gilbert who's made really money. There's like 5 people in the Discord who have come in, implemented the $100 of risk, implemented everything, and then made 10, 20K a month. I mean, I think Ben's up to $35,000 made and through the free resources and just implementing the risk management, scaling in, all of that stuff like through the Discord, like just from locking into that process and just accepting losses and scaling in. That's it. You guys just give me 1 second. I just need to go use the washroom, okay? I'll be 5 minute. I'll be like on the 2-minute chart, basically looking at scaling in and trailing. Do I trade every single account separately? I'm probably trading everything through TradeSync, all 7 accounts that I have, but I'm getting more accounts in the next couple of weeks. Just kind of this last 3 weeks of my life. I'll just be real. The last 3 weeks of my life has been an absolute shit show in my personal life. So just been dealing with that. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like, when you're confused about trailing, just always zoom out and just go, like, where is structure if this fails? Where is structure if this fails? Like, if the structure fails here, where is it, like, we're confirmed actually, like, in the opposite trend, so if we're bullish. If the structure fails, generally speaking, like, we're probably going to continue moving out. That's where I look at, structure and go like, well, if this fails, like I don't really want to be in this trading at all. So. No problem. If anyone has any other questions or anything they want to go over it. Yeah, no, it's just everything. Just a lot of new stuff, like the mentorship, the trying to do more content with long form, still having to do my watch business that I run. I like watch business I run. And like trade as well. It's just a lot of stuff. Just building systems, right? It's like when you guys start any business, the growing pains of first starting stuff and getting used to new things and getting used to like more busyness. Just and then like personal life stuff, but that's just not going into that. Yeah, sure. I mean, the mentorship just basically includes, and there's one of the people in here. It's just you basically get like one set call, and then you essentially get a call you can book in, and then there's like live trading. Live trading is not every single day. I like to have some time to myself to just trade. To be honest, right? It's like I just want to be by myself and just trade, so I don't have to feel like. But it's like it's one of those things where it's like at least 1 to 2. I'm gonna make it because there's so many mentees now. Well, it's not so many, but there's enough where I'm just gonna probably set a set day or set 2 days where I just live trade. So it'll be like 2 days live trading out of the week, and then you have like your set call. And it's just more of a structured approach. Like it's just more of like you have calls like this like 2 to 3 times a week basically where you can ask questions and just go over stuff and you get an actual plan. I would say it's like most people aren't going into this with any kind of plan. They don't ask like I can't answer everyone's questions really quickly. Like you have some like for example you can send like I mean the if you see ANEL in here like she started 3 days ago and like she sent me all her trades and like we can look over those trades and figure out what's right and what's wrong and she's like cracked it pretty well and she's caught like 2 insane trades with the strategy like like identifying those trades. So it's one of those things where it just gives you a lot more feedback. You just get a lot more feedback and you can learn the strategy really quickly. That's basically it. And just like learn how to actually think about trading and how to approach this properly instead of like YOLO and just kind of random stuff. I'll talk about it off camera. I don't really want to go into it on here. If you're actually interested, chuck me a DM. I'll talk to you about it after. But yeah, the mentorship's like one of those things where and this isn't being scarcity stuff. Like I'm closing it probably next couple of mentees I get. It's just it's too much. Like I spend a lot of time with the mentees. Like the scheduled calls are like an hour to 2 hours, and like I yap quite a lot. Like you guys know, I talk a lot. Like I want to give people value, so I don't have like a huge amount of time every week now to like invest in. Like I can't have like 30 mentees because that would be like 90 hours a week basically of time. So I can only have like a set amount before it just becomes like too much. I don't have a website. I just hustle them. So like I just like buy and sell them on like watch groups. I have some really good connections, especially out of Miami. I have some watch dealer groups who basically can give me some pretty good wholesale deals, and then I just find buyers and sellers, and then I just sometimes just go on and we'll like buy a piece like for let's say like I buy like a Submariner for $10,000 and then sell it for 11. Yeah, so I just do stuff like that. It's just a good way to cash flow. Like I don't want to build a business out of it. I just use it as like a hustle, just to make money, because it's easy as fuck. It's so easy to make money doing it. Like I'll be straight up. Like I make anywhere from 6 to 10K a month from that, and I probably make 1 to 2 deals a week, which is like, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, when I first got into watches, I used to have a pretty like Seikos and stuff. There was the good old days, like the what is it, XSKX007. I used to, that used to be my daily wear when I was like 22. Yeah. I wear nicer stuff now, but that's also because like I made decent money from training and from the watch stuff. I pretty much just really like the thing with the iView watches is like it's kind of like cash. Like I mean, I could sell this watch like today and have the money in my account tomorrow. Like this is just cash. It's just cash. That appreciates, and also you get a lot of connections from it. Like I was out at dinner with my wife a couple nights ago, and a guy literally came to our table and was like, "I love your watch," and we got talking. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, told him about the watch stuff. I was like, "I also day trade." You know, you just build connections. So it's like having a nice watch. I genuinely is like even just like I bought my best friend like a Submariner in 2022, and he works at a restaurant. Um, and he's just like the connections you build from having like a decent watch on your wrist, like and people just respect you inherently more. It's kind of gross. It shouldn't be like that, but it is. You don't complain about the chessboard. Just play the game the best you can. But like people definitely do look at you differently if you're wearing like something crazy, especially when you wear something like actually crazy. Like if you wear something like really nice, people are like, "Who is this person?" Using $100 of risk. We got 4 payouts for. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. 1,500. So $4,200 basically. No, that's shit math. $4,500. What's my favorite watch in my collection? It's probably this. It's Platinum Daytona. I love Daytona. I just put on a leather strap because it was like really loud after that thing that I just told you about. I hate attention. Like I just want to be low key. I hate it, and like when I was wearing it on like the proper platinum strap, like people were just like would come talk to you because it's like a pretty heavy piece. Like in terms of like it's like if you see someone that you're like, who is this person? Why? Like not to flex or but like why is he wearing $130,000 watch? Like I want to talk to this person. So and then I'm like, I don't want that, but I still want to wear the watch. So I just chucked it on like a leather strap, so it's a little bit more low key. And it kind of looks cool as well, even though my wife was like, this looks fucking terrible. And I was like, fuck off. I think it looks cool. But like, in terms of like daily wear, probably my like Royal Oak. I fucking love APs, but like, I don't know. Depends. Depends on the day. Bro, if you're saying holy shit to the watch stuff, if I actually show you guys my like watch lifestyle stuff, people, I don't post it because I find it really cringe. I sometimes post it on my story, but I mean, my watch collection is about $250,000 right now. Like people go, oh, I have my Lambo. I'm like, bro, my shit's not rented. This shit's my actual collection. It's cash. Yeah, just being real. Not trying to flex. Not trying to flex. Please don't think I'm taking it as I'm flexing. Nice, bro. Congratulations on the bout. That's fucking sick. I don't. I have some videos. You can watch the live recaps. That's basically the strategy. Every single one of my live recaps is my strategy playing out. You're just on slightly lower time frames, but I discuss what's happening in the trades. I discuss what's happening and how I'm scaling in, and they can give you a lot of insight on how to trade it. If you use this free guide in conjunction with the live recaps, you should get a lot of clarity of what's actually going on. But I do need to make some. Like I need to make like a full guide. I'll probably try and do it like this next coming week on like a full video guide, like a soft video guide, like that's like 20, 30 minutes of like going over everything. Because everyone has the same problems. How do I scale in? How do I trail? How do I identify order blocks? That's the same questions I get like a million times. Right? Those are the generic. Those are the questions that people ask. Nice. That's pretty fast payout, bro. Jesus. What firm is this? Lucid? Right, I can just go over what an order block. If you guys are worried, like, what is the question that you guys have with the strategy? That's actually a bit. If you guys like when you're like looking at the strategy, what's the question that you guys have specifically? And I'll just go over it with you. If you guys have questions specifically on the strategy, like, I'll go over it. You gotta ask the questions, like, because think about it, there's people at home who aren't on this call who might have the same question. So if you answer it, you get the answer straight away, and also like other people might have the same questions. I had the shittest lunch today just before I came on this call, man. It was so bad. It took like 45 minutes for the food to come. I was pissed. Then I had to like rush home to get on the call. They gave us free shit though, so that was pretty good. That was good. Jay, are you in here, bro? Yeah, you're still in here. After this call, I'll just jump on a call with you, bro. We have a chat. I saw your DM. Should I just 5 minis off the rip? The moment this opens in 6 minutes? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Make like 1 bajillion. If I did 5 minis, it was like to my personal. Holy shit! Like, what's the multiplier? It's like 15. I don't even know if my account can even sustain that many with margin. Yeah, we have questions. Cool. I wasn't scrolled down. I'm fucking retarded. Amazing. I'm gonna try this. Finally got my first express and pulled some new vowels. Cool. I should definitely try that. Yeah, definitely try the $100 of risk. Is those are on my Instagram. Yes, so I was scrolled up and these weren't refreshing. I'm just fucking stupid as hell. Sorry. Yeah, try the $100 of risk. I always tell people try what I say and then see if it works. Like no offense, most of you guys aren't profitable yet. So like if what's working, if what you're doing right now is clearly not working, you might as well try something different. Even just do it for a couple of weeks to a month, you might surprise yourself. Making a full guide would help us. A dedicated video strategy. I definitely need to do that. You guys need to bear in mind that I've only been making the content since April, and I've only been serious about it since October. October is when the page really started to grow. So I've just been also like been kind of trying to get everything. I didn't use a strategy, but I had a couple of trades I scaled on and seeing you do it, and I definitely see the potential. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of people who do that, who take what I talk about and like kind of apply to their strategy, and then they start to see a lot more success. Like, so you don't have to trade my strategy. I don't even think my strategy is that amazing. Like, I definitely think it's good. I definitely think you can make money doing it, but I don't think it's like the best strategy in the world or anything. I think it's just a good way to manage your risk. Most of my strategy is basically going, I want to trade with a high time frame. I want to scale into my winners and I want to trail them. That's where the power of the strategy is really. It's not like there's anything like a secret sauce, but I don't think any strategy is a secret sauce. They're all just different ways to manage risk and different ways to approach the market. But as long as you're aligning yourself with a high time frame, trading, trailing and actually scaling into your winners, I think that most strategies can be like pretty insane. This is the black account. Yeah, I heard this. I read it. I saw a reel today about the Lucid black accounts are like insane. They're absolutely insane rules. Apparently they're pretty much exactly like Top Tip, except you can like request every 3 days or something ridiculous. Yeah, sure. I'll show you the way it works. How do I trade order blocks? Sure. So basically what you want to do is you want to use, I'm going to do this very briefly because it's like this will take like an hour and a half to go over if I do it. Basically you want to go and look at like what's actually happening on the high time frames. So for example, like on the 4 hourly, you want to go on order, you want to go look at order. An order block looks like this. It's where the market has a consolidation an indecision, and then a large expansion in a certain direction. It's always going to have a red candle or a green candle into the opposite direction. That's how we find order blocks. That is what that right there is what an order block looks like. That's the only thing you should be looking for. And you can see it plays out like a million times. You can see here, expansion down, retests, dumps. You can see expansion down, retests, dumps. You can see expands up, retests, runs. You can see it happens over and over again. Once you've got the high time frame stuff, all you want to do is go and look for the exact same thing on the 30-minute and the 50-minute and hourly. Try and get as many of those time frames aligned. Once you've got those time frames aligned, you want to jump down to the 2-minute and then basically just execute with the exact same thing, which is just an engulfing candle and a large displacement in the direction that you believe that the market's going to go. Generally, I like to wait for a liquidity sweep as well, but that's not, you don't have to do that, but I would do that. And then basically all you do is once the trade is at 1R or is at local structure, so if we're like internal structure rather, so for example, if we were to take this trade, you would go break even and either at 1R, so like here, or you would go break even where the highs were. So like for example, that's a high, that's only 0.82R, but like that's where you go break even. Does that make sense? That's basically the strategy. I can't go over it like super in depth, to be honest, because it would take me like an hour and a half to. But that is essentially what you're looking to do. You're just using every single time frame to come up with a narrative, using the 15, 30-minute and hourly to give yourself context of what's actually happening in the market right now, and then using the 2-minute to get into the trades. And I sometimes use lower. You can use different time frames if you want, but I use the 2-minute and sometimes lower, but I don't use the 5-minute and above really that much. Does that make sense? Not always inside. A lot of the time I'll actually wait for the market to give me a new order block, so a new engulfing candle on the 15, 30-minute or hourly, and then I'm simply looking for it to retest, show me structure, because in my brain that's going, okay, well if it comes back and retests and then gives me a large 2-minute candle displacement off that, that's structure. That's bullish structure. I want to be getting into that trade and presuming that it's going to continue going in that direction because we're aligned with the high time frames. No, I don't. I take so when I'm marking the order blocks, I'm basically going like I'm doing it off the bottom of the body to the top of the wick, or vice versa. Like for example, this is what I would do on a bearish one. So it would look like that, and then on a bullish one, it would look like that. And then I'll obviously try to find like structure forming through here, and I'll also try and look at where the actual lower time frame order blocks are inside here as well. But that's just, and you can see like this shit plays out on every time frame. Like you guys are like, oh, it dumped off. Why are we dumping off here? Like look at this giant order block here. Like look at, I couldn't crack it. That's why I was trying to go short. Everyone was longing into this, and I was like, why are you guys longing? Like this is like so bearish. Like this is so bad. And I was like, if we hold this, like it's just gonna tear down, potentially. Obviously, you don't know what's gonna happen, but that was just my thesis on the week. And I mean, I think it was like 29R total across like 6 trades or 7 trades. Or like I don't remember exactly how many it was, but it was a lot off this constantly shorting off this order block and waiting for 15-minute structure to form in here, and then selling the retest and just selling it down. That's all I was doing. Just using the high time frame context, the hourly, high time frame framing, daily for hourly to create that narrative. Yes, correct, Sharky. Where are my live videos? My live videos are on my page. There's like 35 recaps you guys can go watch. It's like a whole lot. They're all the same strategy. A lot of them are not. Like I post my losses. Well, I don't post every single trade I take because I'm pretty relaxed. Like I kind of get a little like editing them, and it's like sometimes I get to record, and I've been like kind of relaxed on that front. But like there's a lot of trades on there. There's losses, wins, break evens. There's everything you can watch. That basically show you how I execute and how I trail and how I scale, and it will give you more context on how to trade the strategy. If you use that in conjunction with the guides, you should be able to figure it out, to be honest. Yeah, and what you said there, Sir Doc, I think that's like a real key, is going like You don't have to take my strategy, but you can take elements. You can go, cool, like I'm going to start scaling in and trailing my positions and just seeing what happens. Go test things. I do advise it, unless you're making substantial money from trading already, just go test things. You never know. Now I might have something that really resonates with your brain, that really works for you, but that I also might not. Like go test it. Go see how it works for you. But I will have to wind down this call soon. So if there's any, I'll give you guys like 10 more minutes to ask questions, and then I'm gonna have to head off because I got some shit to do. So if you guys have any final questions, I'll try and quick fire go over them. I seem like a normal person. No, I'm just not a fucking dickhead. Like a lot of these guys who are doing really well, they just have super. I always say, guys, if you guys see a non-humble trader, presume they're lying, because trading is the one career that will actually humble the fuck out of you. And if you see someone being super arrogant and a bit of a dickhead, they're probably not who they say they are, because trading will inherently humble you. We are, bro. We've got to sort of. I'm going to be in the city from tomorrow until like probably next week. My best friend and I are going to hang out. Yeah. If you come to the city, we can have a cigar at Revolution. Have you been to Revolution in Yaletown? Yeah, let's go and get a cigar there, bro. We said. Where am I located? I'm located in Vancouver. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Sadok. That's great. Just me. Yeah. I'll DM you about it. But yeah, if there's any last questions, are we all good? Hope everyone has a good week ahead, good weekend. Any last questions? Anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you want me to talk about? Like 5 more minutes left. No, we all done? All right, guys. Well, I think this was a good call. I hope you guys got. Oh yeah, sure. Shoot, Morbius. Sure, go ahead, man. Yeah, I'm sure it'll get better, bro. No, so I'll explain it to you really quickly. If we're trying to get into a position, this might not make sense to you. You might be like, that doesn't make sense. But if let's say we're going short here, if we're wrong, isn't it better to just be wrong really small and then let the market kind of show you structure that you're correct, and then like add contracts as we're correct? Because realistically, let's say I took this trade with 2R here. And let's say that I took the risk of $300 of risk here or $200 of risk here, and then I can get $1,600 out of this trade. I can probably still get $1,600 out of this trade if I just scale in once the trend's confirmed. But if this doesn't instantly, like if this doesn't do this and instead just takes me out, like I'd rather just lose really little when I don't know, because I don't have any information on what's going to happen here, but I do have information here, and like I can just go off what's going on here. If I'm wrong, I can be wrong really small, and then when the market's actually showing me structure that I'm correct, I can then add contracts and pretty much make the same amount as normal people, but I'm not risking it all up front. So when I lose really small, and then I add contracts as the trend actually confirms, and I get more and more information that the trend is actually doing what I want it to do. But if I lose here, I just lose small. Whereas normal people, when they lose, they just lose properly. They lose like a step stack, like a decent amount. And yeah, they have their big winners, but this just allows you to keep yourself a little bit more level-headed. Where you're like, okay, well, this is $100 of risk rather than $200-300 of risk. And even if you hit a winner, that's great. But I can get the same amount of winner or more on these trades in terms of like risk to reward. Like I could probably take this trade from here to here and make 16R, which is the same as you making 8R, but I don't risk the same amount as you. because I only risk $100 because I can just add a fuckload of contracts as we move down. So you're basically just allowing yourself to, with the current information, we don't know if we're going to lose or win when we enter a trade, obviously. But once we are confirmed that we're going to win, or they're confirmed that it's a trade that is playing out in the direction that we believe it's going to play out in, we can then add contracts once we're confirmed right. And then we get way better performance and way better KPIs than normal people. Because we can make 16 hour on this trade, or 15 hour, or 10 hour, or whatever, but we're risking way, way less. Like way, way less. So when we lose so small, but when we win so big if we look at like KPIs and performance metrics. $100 of risk. $100 of risk always. $100. I only just started risking $200, and it's because I have so much equity. I mean, you can see, right? I can lose 21 times right now and still have my account. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But like my point is, it just allows me to detach from the process and be locked in. Yeah, it's all about risk, because I think, again, like, this is the final. I do need to go, so like this is the final thing I'll say on this. When you're entering the market, guys, you don't know if you're going to win or lose. So like, don't you want to be as least exposed to the market off the initial, trade you're taking, and then like letting the market actually show you structure, and then when you're actually winning, then you can add contracts, and then like you'll make the same amount of people, but you'll make more risk. You'll make the same amount in terms of dollars, or like you'll make the same amount in terms of risk to reward on their initial entry, but you'll actually make more because you're risking less. So you're actually getting way better performance. Like your performance goes up, like your actual like KPIs, your actual like performance indicators, like your analytics, like the actual back end that will make your system good. You'll be winning way more. Your positions will be the same win rate, but like you'll be getting way higher risk to reward trade. So you'll be making more money. I always just stick to that. That's what I said, 4 hourly, and then 15, 30-minute hourly, and then 2-minute executions. I always have a good day. Like the only metric that I have that is a good or bad day is did I stick to my rules. If I lose 2 trades on the day, but I stuck to my rules, that's a good day. If I make 10 hour on the day and make $15,000, that's a bad day if I broke my rules. That's all that matters. Because anything else is not scalable, therefore irrelevant. You gamble and make 10 hour, it's not relevant. Don't care. It's not scalable. Therefore, like, do you make 10 hour on the day and make, let's say, $1,000? Who cares if you could make from a process on the same day 2 hour, but then inject $30,000 of risk and make $60,000 in the day? Who the fuck cares about $1,000 from gambling? The only thing that matters is a process that's scalable, because you can actually make real money, like substantial sums of money, not $1,000, like $60,000, $100,000, $200,000. Because the lifestyle of trading copper is horrendous. Like, I'll show you. This is the last question, guys. Sorry, like I actually do have to go. If I'm in a position, I used to trade the 5-minute. For example, let's say I take, I don't know, I'm just taking it like randomly, but like, I mean, let's say that I'm in this kind of position and the market's really bullish, and I am going cool, stop loss to break even at 1 hour. Right, we're in regular. Okay, so you're telling me I need to trade from 1 o'clock in the morning and I would still be in that position at market close? It's horrendous. It's probably the worst thing I've ever done. I made about $140,000 doing it, but it was the worst thing I did over like a 6-month period. It was just absolutely brutal. I was up from 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I would wake up at 2 in the afternoon and trade from 4 until literally like days. There were days were like this where I was up at market close. I'm just up all night watching movies and just trailing these fucking positions. But the market does move like obscenely aggressively. Like you just get absolutely fucking crazy trades where it never really pulls back. Obviously, you've got to remember in the context of our strategy, if we're scaling in through here, trailing, scaling, this trade's probably like 50R, because these commodities, you can kind of see, right? Like they kind of just move. They don't really move in like a choppy way. They kind of just like move. They don't really do a whole pullback stuff. They do like little ones, but nothing like crazy. Because I was actually thinking about trading it, and I was, I mean, this is the kind of shit that I was just talking about, right? Like, this is the position that I was showing him into a couple of weeks ago because he wanted to trade copper as well. And I was showing him this. I was like, you chuck that on. That's at 520. You would still be in this position at literally market close. You would be trailing this theoretically if you were trading my strategy as is. You would be trailing this from 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 7:30 in the morning. That is a 10-hour trade. You have to sit there and be locked in for that kind of time. And for me, it just wasn't worth it. It was just horrendous on my mental, physical, spiritual, fucking every kind of health possible. It made me want to, like, I didn't have anything apart from trading. I would just log on, trade copper, sit there and watch movies all day. And obviously I wasn't making content, so I wasn't talking to anyone. And like, you know, I spent maybe like a little time with my wife, but then like it was just all I would do was trade copper. And then like, yeah, it's great. You can go on huge runs. Like the biggest trade I ever took with copper was 44R and $22,000 across 5 accounts. But also my lifestyle sucked, and I wanted to fucking die. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Yeah, we'll have a great weekend together. Hopefully, you guys have a good time. I'm gonna go. And hopefully next week we hit the ground running. If you guys have any questions or anything, just drop them in the accountability chat, and I'll see you guys next week. We'll talk soon.